Wait.
Hello everyone, welcome. I created a YouTube event, but it seems that when I did the stream, we created a new one. Alright, I'll have to figure it out. Alright, what do we have today? That's my weekly event, news chat modular synth. I want to talk about all the events that are happening in the Bay Area, mostly online. Shout out to friends, and also I would like to talk to you about the newly released Subharmonicon, and that was first. Let's launch. All right, welcome back. Glad to have you here. I see a few people are coming online, Facebook, on YouTube, Periscope, Mixer, or Twitch. Please leave a comment in the chat. I'd like to know. That would be awesome. Let me chat. Hi everyone. All right, also what I have is that if you want to join live and have speak with me, use Modular and a question, then you can click this link, for your, and we can each other screen. Right. That screening. Oh, so I see Matthew is here. Hi Matthew, glad to have you. Right. So there's plenty of me on the screen, and we can see the chat. Everything. All my dashboard. All right. What's happening here? So what I wanted to tell you is I want to talk to you about the newly released Subharmonicon. And here. But what I want to do is to compare it to the Subharmonicon that was first. Other things. So I've started this electronic music history in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's quite nice. I've discovered plenty of things. Buchla. Sorry, you may know about Buchla, you may know about sequential, but also that's a place where in Stanford University FM synthesizers was developed, which led to the Yamaha DX7, and also a couple of software like Max MSP. Max Matthews, his name after him. Max Matthews was one of the first to do computer. That's quite interesting, and I've got a few helping me and contributing. It kind of seems that it all started around some course that Ericsson did, and other people joined, and students from there started the San Francisco Tape Music Center. From there started the Buchla. It's interesting. If you want to read it, paste the link in the chat. I see that Malaki joined. Hi Malaki. So I've got Matthew, Malaki. If anyone else, hi in the chat. And also if you want to chat with me, just click on it. I'm going to try to plan test. Next. All right. So that's the history of electronic music in the Bay Area. Quite interesting. I hope I can add more is as I need to dig a little bit. The first song Hi, Joe. Other thing on the news, so I've my album Symphony that was released a little while on Bandcamp is now everywhere. Spotify. So now it's on the Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. There you can find it there. But the best location for you if you want to encourage me to make music, it's on Bandcamp. And on Bandcamp, you can order the CD plus the DVD. So the CD of the previous album Elements and the DVD, which is in a 5.1 surround sound. So it's movie, but the movie is just used for the sound. 5.1. The recording was a quadraphonic, and the rating 5.1. If you play it on your home theater, the center channel is silent and right location at home. Digital version that you find everywhere. The digital version that you find everywhere is a binaural. Binaural is that performed to represent it like if you hear where your ears were hearing bass and mix such a way that your ears, when you wear a headset, believe that the sound is that's binaural. Matthew says DVD sounds good. Right, that's good. It and had to have something. Thank you very much. Matthew also came here and helped me a little bit to calibrate or get a like I've got quadraphonic environment in the studio. Not that great, but it's great. Alright, so Element and Symphony is slowly selling. Little interruption. If you haven't clicked like on the video or if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that alerted week or Canada last Tuesday we had the Resident Electronic Monthly Open Mic. I hosted it. We had a few performers, so usually we do it at the Laundry. But at the moment it's the at-home version, and we have had a collaborative effort between Jason, Fed, myself, and we had a few artists. Way our kit to make it easy is I ask every artist to record a video with any visual you want. Record a video of their performance longer than 20 minutes, upload it to YouTube as unlisted, and fill up the form. And these are the video I will live, and artists are to come watch party. Last Tuesday we had that MIDI script phase. Sign Mountain is from the Colorado Modular Society. That was cool to have a bay and community. We had that Patrick Coleman, Maraki, who's on the chat right now. It was quite a very nice set. We had that CMB, Cosmic Microwave background. So he used to be in the Bay Area. He was also a guest. Very nice. And we had the collaboration between Hazel and music and Fred. It was quite a nice evening. We tried to continue this event. until we can meet live again. Right, I see a few people join. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for coming. Talking about a little bit of the modular synth news, electronic music news. Talk about Subharmonicon, and I'll do a little bit performance. Oh, Raymond. Hi, Raymond. I'm glad that it's a time suitable for you. Right, music is coming soon, Raymond. What else I wanted? Oh, there is on the Patreon. You've got Data Cult Audio. They have been running for quite a while. So every week they ask one of the modular synthesizer to record a 30-minute, an hour piece, and it's a kind of a podcast. Every week on Friday, get a new different modular synthesizer artist. And if you want to support Data Cult Audio, then you can go. Similarly, you've got North Beats. North Beat is run by Kezol, and this is also a podcast. Kezol goes and interview different musicians. Kezol also organizes a team then. Hi, Synthsor Music. Glad to have you. So that's a little bit how you can help the community and discover some. I've got also the Spotify release on Modular Synth is Discovery, which is also on Apple. Growing nicely. It's a nice way to find a lot of artists. Right. So reminder, if you want to come live and chat with me, this link I'll can come live and chat with me. I think I should put a link for you or no bits. Right. It's fun with a lag. You may see the link before I talk about anyhow. All right. I'm still wondering if I should go on Patreon. I took the way of going on Bandcamp. So if you look in the Bandcamp, you can become. So you can join my community. I don't know, barely a month, and you can join my community, and that's a kind of a Patreon. Decided if I should, but I went on the Bandcamp. That's one way to get access to all the digital. Right. Let's go back to, I guess, the main topic. I wanted to talk about Subharmonicon release. That's quite interesting beast. So what's the principle of the Subharmonicon? Well, there's a mix of two instruments, or concept. One which is polyrhythm, so you've got sequencer and you've got division of the time moving at two different steps, and they interact each other to create a pattern. It's semi-random, but it's not regular. So, and the other part is that instead of having harmonics, so higher frequency, then you've got subharmonics. Whatever frequency you have, you divide it by 2, you divide it by 4, and you play this other oscillator. You've got a main oscillator, got 2 sub oscillators, which are at a frequency. On the subharmonic, but oscillator, which correspond each stage to each sequencer. So the Subharmonicon came first from Moogfest engineering workshop. Here on the picture that was just before you see Subharmonicon and you see Steve, who's the creator of the machine. So every year, as part of the Moogfest EIP engineering pass, Steve and go and look at an interesting machine, build it, unit, and with Steve we discuss a little bit. Quite nice way to discover others. So what are the machines that have been made like this? That brother from another, which was out to the other 32. You had that DFAM drummer that got released publicly. So you had the Subharmonicon that was built in 2018, years ago. Spectravox last year, and this year there was no. I hope they redo it. How the original Subharmonicon look like. So this is a faceplate. You see it's a different layout. I will. And this is the circuit board. Basically, you see on the top some of the components. So that's a circuit board. There's no board. There's no switch. And then there's no power or audio. You put them. You solder. You assemble the do a calibration, and you've got. I've been using the Subharmonicon. You look on the CD. There's a lot of parts which are. So let's see. Let's move modular. So we'll go on modular close because I'll show you my step. If you have any question, then please chat, answer that. Let me move modular synth Subharmonicon, and just after, like Raymond is saying, there will be some music. Stay here. I'm just moving.
All right. All right, so that's I'm using the microphone from the Spectravox, so it's not as great as the one that I'm using for the podcast. Anyhow, so this is a Subharmonicon that was built at Moogfest. I've got it here in the patch. So what you see, the difference is the layout mainly, and they were able to do a little bit more stuff with the layout. So here you've got the clock and rhythmic section. Here you've got one step sequencer and second step sequencer. So that section has been moved here on the left. Instead of you having a switch, they put button, but also interesting on the button is here I can choose that this clock divider will affect either the top or the bottom, but on the new one you can also affect both of them. So that's a little bit more interesting. The oscillator. So the oscillator, this is the oscillator. So that stage has been put here on this side, and the second stage has been put here. So that's the same. So you've got the main oscillator and the two subharmonic. So this is not a change of frequency, but this is a divider of the frequency. So more you turn and more you divide. So generally on the Subharmonicon you want to have your original frequency relatively high because the division could go very fast into infrasonic. So if you want that to work. That section, which is a mixer, has been placed here at the bottom. So you've got the 6 pot that allow you to mix all these 6 oscillator has been put at the bottom. One change on the oscillator here, I've got only access to a sawtooth, while on the new Subharmonicon you've got the saw, or you've got a pulse, or you can have both at the same time. So a little bit more rich oscillator. This section, which is the standard section on the Moog, so you've got the leader filter with a VCA envelope, so the leader filter with the cutoff and the resonance, and you've got the VCA filter and VCA envelope, and you've got the VCF also envelope and the amount of it. What they did is that these two switch, which are the attack, have been replaced by pots. So you've got better control on the length of the attack. Here I've got the choice between short, medium, and long. So it's predefined. On the new one, you can change it. Here is a switch to select that. So that has been a little bit reworked. One of the first comments that came during at Moogfest during the build is that this is a little bit hard to tune. What's happening is that, as you can see here, the sequencer is moving on the top at a different speed as the sequencer at the bottom. So that creates some kind of polyrhythm, and you can also change the way it interacts. So you can change the way that it will move. It doesn't need to move always on the beat. It can miss some step. But what's happening is that every time that one move, then wherever is light will trigger the oscillator. So you've got this pitch and this pitch that may trigger, and then the next one you've got this pitch, and then this one and this one. And the tuning is just turning the knob, so that's your pitch. So it's a little bit difficult to make sure that this one will work well with all of this, etc. And what was missing is that you've got a trigger, so that's fine. You can have a start, stop, and a reset to bring it back to normal. But they're missing an advanced button, so you had to play with time and a trigger from somewhere else, so with a tempo, so to move it one step by one step, and then a tune. So how they fix that, they put a next button, so that's easier to move to all the step, and with a trigger then you can tune it to your liking. Plus they added a quantizer, so like this you're sure, well, if you enable the quantizer, you're sure that all the notes that are playing here will be in relation to all the notes that are playing there in a way that works well. Otherwise, well, you need to spend a lot of time. Let's hear it a bit. So you see as he is moving, then it triggers the two stage. So I can play on my leader filter, open it now, bring some resonance. What I've done also on the patch here is that you can do some FM synthesis like this. So if you take the audio from any of these oscillators, so you take the audio of one of the oscillator and then patch it to the input of one of these oscillators, then you get some this is the attack, so I can go more ping, having a longer attack of the attack quite long. Then you can create some intervals. being short, and you're really pinging it. The tempo here is disabled because I'm clocking it from the modular. The other thing that you have on the Subharmonicon is that you can decide if these pots are going to affect the frequency of the main oscillator or the number of division on the subharmonics. You can change that also. So that's basically, so they made great improvement from that first version, making it a little bit easier to have relationship between the notes. Increase the number of oscillator or the sound wave that you can have, and put a full envelope instead of trigger here for the effect. Anybody has any questions? Alright, coming back here. So, for you, original. For the patch bay, it's the same. I think that's exactly the same patch. So that's interesting to see how you move from a prototype to a prototype or small run version and get it to the community so you can test it, you can work with it and give some feedback. And then people are, hey, hi Andrew. Yes, it's quite a geeky instrument, and it's based on the I forgot. I think one is the Throtium, which was the subharmonic instrument, and the other one has got the polyrhythm. All right. So, what do I have here today? Time to do shout out again. I've got Matthew, Malaki, Joe, Raymond, Sensor Music, and Andrew Bernard. So I'm glad you joined me. If you want to follow it on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, Mixer, choose your platform. Like it on. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube and be alerted every time I go live on Facebook. Alright. Here we go. A little sound animation was not moving. Alright, so it's end of the. Okay, what I'm using restream.io. Nice system. It's free unless you want to stream to a Facebook page. Pay for the converter. As they've got some extra service that they can offer you. Re-encoding of your streams depending on the destination. But otherwise, it's all free. So you stream to it, and they will distribute to the platform. Organize it. Quite nice. And I'm using also OBS Studio, putting all together and send. Right. Yeah, they're quite cool.
And as you know, as bought my other stuff, I'm teasing them that their service is not yet on iTunes. That's another story. All right, so on the hour, so I'm gonna perform a little bit of music. If you have any other question, if you want to join me here at BGC, stuff I need to show is that I'm in this site in case you join. I'll see you, but surprise of who's. That would be nice if one of you can just join me. So on BGC, Franck Martin, video conferencing system, you enable your camera, microphone, and we can have a chat. All right, time for some music. Moving back to my mod. Here is the setup. You see the Subharmonicon, Spectravox. So maybe the Spectravox will be released next year. I saw that Moog reissued their vocoder, and the Spectravox is a kind of vocoder, but slightly different. Interesting. A modular, which is patch, and I'm trying to do in ambient. All right, time for some. But you very much. Yes, I forgot to put back my Sony mic, lost audio, no voice. Sorry. So let me rephrase again. So that was the a part with Subharmonicon, and it's a piece I'm trying to work. It's a little bit ambient. It's thank you. So thank you, Nelly. Thank you, Andrew, Beto. Hi, Beto, and Matthew. Yes, I forgot to switch on back the microphone here. Pick up the sound from the speakers and the board. So I'd switch it off, and technical difficulty. So that's a piece I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to make it like a 30-minute and parts in it, and I'm learning also how different sound interact with each other. Some very low frequency are starting to pile up on each other and interact sometimes weirdly. So I need to work a little bit on it. Also develop it, make it a little parts. I'm trying to figure it out that. But thank you very much that you like it. Thanks, Malaki. Nila arriving at the top of the hour, so I'm going to do a little recap for the people that join. So I spoke today about the Subharmonicon that Mark released, which is next version from the original one that was built on Moogfest. You've seen how the interface has been reworked and how new features have been added that makes it quite easier. I've got a timeline of electronic music in the San Francisco Bay Area. Please have a look at it. It's quite interesting place for Buchla, sequential, FM synthesizers, the first computer music programs. That's also the birth of the MIDI standard for in between any other stuff. Nice one to about. I just released my album Symphony. You'll find it on it's on all music service, but it's also on Bandcamp. And if you go to Bandcamp, highly suggest that get the DVD plus CD. The DVD is a quadraphonic in 5.1. It have quadraphonic at home on your home theater system. On the calendar, so last nice. All right, on the calendar, so last Tuesday we had Resident Electronic Monthly. Resident Electronic Music Monthly. That's the at-home version, and we had as performer MIDI Script, Fez, Sign Mountain, Patrick Coleman, Malaki, Cosmic Microwave Background, and Kezol and Fez. It's on YouTube. It's on the Coyote Hearing Studio. Listen to the great artist. On the calendar, so first my next show going live is next Saturday, 23rd of May at 11 a.m. San Francisco time. Put that in your calendar. You've got Resonant Frequency, which will be on the Sunday, 7th of June, 6 p.m. San Francisco time. These are live set. To be like 10 of them. Resident will be just after on Tuesday, 9th of June. If you want to submit a piece for Resident, 20-minute, upload YouTube video as unlisted, fill up the form and pay your piece together. Please have a look at Data Cult Audio Patreon page. Every week there's a new modular synth artist release a piece. One of them, I think that was number 2. There is a North Beat also. If you want me to do shout out, if I forgot something, just put it in the chat. And that was the Moogfest Engineering with Steve, who's creator of the Subharmonicon. can see the faceplate quite different at this faceplate and this faceplate. And function is a little bit better, a little bit more functionality to. And here you've got the board with all the components. Maybe next time I'll talk about the Spectra. But that was the Subharmonicon built in 2018. Spectra. There was no Moogfest this year. I hope that they're redoing. I'd like to go to North Carolina. Yeah, I went to Asheville. Quite nice. Right? People were a little bit shy to call in and chat with me via videos. Still waiting for a surprise guest. I will organize some guests and also to work to be able to guest perform. Oh yes, I was asking a question. I have to go to teach. Okay, thanks Matthew for joining. Time for teaching with an audio engineer. Is teaching audio engineer. So yes, I'm a little bit deciding on the Patreon / and campus, and that's about it. In the top of the hour. So anybody wants to have a shout out or ask some questions before we leave, did I have today? Look at you, Malaki, Joe, Raymond, some music, Raymond, Dick, Andrew Bonner, Andrew and Nelly. I don't know if you're. I've got a couple of PG, quite a few. Sensor Music to also join. So that was cool to all of you. So next week, 3rd of May, if you want to join the show as a guest, reach to me if you have a question, if you want me to cover a topic, if you need to talk here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Make some ready for joining. Hi. The outro. Thank you everybody for joining. See you on next Saturday, 11 a.m. PST, same place on YouTube, Facebook, etc.